it will become increasingly difficult for Western nations to maintain the influence they have enjoyed for so long. In conclusion, the partnership between Burkina Faso and Rwanda signals the beginning of a major shift in African geopolitics, with the potential to reshape the region's defense and security landscape. As more African nations follow suit and embrace greater self-reliance, the West will be forced to adapt to a changing reality.
Hey guys, as you're watching this video, our vision is to reach 500,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, join membership to support our channel, join Patreon and PayPal. All the links are in the description. Do that to stand with us for this beautiful cause of One Africa right now. We do not forget to sign up for the petition. The link is down below. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is the journey to One Africa.
Could a single strategic move cause sleepless nights for Western powers, including Trump? Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, has recently made an unexpected decision that could force Western nations to reconsider their influence in Africa. By forming a military alliance with Rwanda, a country that has transformed from the wreckage of genocide to a leader in African defense, Traoré isn't just making a move for his own country. He's signaling a significant shift in African geopolitics, a shift that could unsettle Western powers. When Traoré chose to send his senior military officials to Rwanda, it wasn't simply an exchange of military knowledge. This was a deliberate, high-level military partnership aimed at boosting Burkina Faso's defense capabilities, transforming the country into a more formidable player in the Sahel region. Rwanda, once thought of as a small, quiet nation in Central Africa, has emerged as a key military and peacekeeping force across the continent. And now Burkina Faso is seeking to tap into Rwanda's expertise. This is not your typical diplomatic gesture. The military agreement includes several key provisions that could dramatically alter Burkina Faso's defense and security posture. At its core is a mutual defense pact, ensuring that Rwanda and Burkina Faso will provide military support to each other if either faces external or internal threats. In a region plagued by instability, particularly from insurgent groups, both countries understand the urgent need to safeguard their sovereignty. If one is under attack, the other is bound to respond, not just with diplomatic statements, but with tangible military aid. Rwanda, having experienced its own challenges and recovered to become a stable force, is seen as a perfect partner for Burkina Faso, which is struggling with insurgencies in its northern and eastern territories. Rwanda's role in peacekeeping and security operations, such as its significant contributions in the Central African Republic and Mozambique, positions it as a key player in African security. This partnership between Rwanda and Burkina Faso goes beyond mere military support. It signifies a shift toward greater African autonomy in defense matters. One of the most important aspects of the deal is intelligence sharing. Rwanda's intelligence network is one of the most effective on the continent, particularly in combating insurgencies. With this agreement, Burkina Faso hopes to benefit from Rwanda's sophisticated intelligence capabilities, enabling it to preempt potential threats before they escalate into full-blown crises. Rwanda's successful handling of threats in the Central African Republic and other regions has demonstrated the importance of early intelligence and effective counterinsurgency operations. Burkina Faso's military, which has faced challenges with intelligence coordination, now has an opportunity to strengthen its capacity by learning from Rwanda's proven systems. In addition to intelligence cooperation, the military pact includes joint training exercises. Rwanda's military is known for its discipline and effectiveness, and Burkina Faso's soldiers will receive extensive training in advanced military tactics, counterinsurgency operations, and crisis management. Rwanda's expertise in military peacekeeping operations, such as in Mozambique, offers valuable lessons in how to manage conflicts, protect civilians, and rebuild societies after war. Burkina Faso stands to gain from these lessons, ensuring that its military is better equipped to handle the ongoing insurgencies in its own territory. The partnership isn't just about strengthening Burkina Faso's military. It's also about creating a more secure and stable future for the country. Rwanda's experience in post-conflict reconstruction and peace-building, having emerged from the horrors of genocide, is something Burkina Faso can leverage. The holistic approach Rwanda takes, integrating military strength with community building, reconciliation, and long-term stability, could offer a model for Burkina Faso as it looks to rebuild areas affected by insurgency and violence. Beyond the bilateral benefits, this alliance between Burkina Faso and Rwanda holds wider implications for the African continent as a whole. The possibility of a unified African defense force, one that is self-reliant and capable of addressing security challenges without relying on external powers, becomes increasingly realistic. Such a force could tackle insurgencies, human trafficking, and regional conflicts more effectively, without waiting for Western intervention. This shift toward African self-sufficiency would not only enhance regional security, but also reduce Africa's dependency on Western powers, who have long exerted significant influence through military, economic, and diplomatic channels. A united African defense force could also help safeguard the continent's rich natural resources, which have often been exploited by foreign powers. By taking control of its defense, Africa could ensure that its resources benefit its own people, rather than being extracted by outside nations. Additionally, a stronger and more unified military force would challenge the dominance of Western countries like the US, France, and the UK, who have maintained military presences in Africa for decades. If African nations come together to form a cohesive defense force, they could demand more equitable relationships, reducing Western leverage over the continent. The implications of this shift in African defense strategy could be felt far beyond the continent. With stronger military and strategic alliances, African nations like Burkina Faso and Rwanda could strengthen ties with global powers like China, Russia, and India, further diversifying their international relationships. China's Belt and Road Initiative, for example, has already made significant inroads in Africa, investing in infrastructure and offering military assistance in exchange for favorable trade agreements. Russia, too, has been expanding its influence in Africa through military partnerships with countries like Mali and Burkina Faso. A more united and self-sufficient Africa could disrupt the current global power structure, challenging the traditional dominance of the West. African nations would no longer need to rely on Western powers for military support, allowing them to pursue more independent foreign policies and foster partnerships based on mutual respect and shared interests. This shift could have a profound impact on the balance of power in international organizations, like the United Nations, where Africa's influence could grow as a result of stronger collective security. The West's attempts to isolate African nations or dictate terms could become less effective as the continent becomes more united and less dependent on foreign powers. As Africa strengthens its defense capabilities and asserts greater autonomy, it will become increasingly difficult for Western nations to maintain the influence they have enjoyed for so long. In conclusion, the partnership between Burkina Faso and Rwanda signals the beginning of a major shift in African geopolitics, with the potential to reshape the region's defense and security landscape. As more African nations follow suit and embrace greater self-reliance, the West will be forced to adapt to a changing reality, where Africa takes a more prominent role in its own destiny. The question remains, will more nations step up and follow this path toward greater independence, or will they continue to rely on the West for support? Time will tell.